All Things Unexplained. Hosted by Dr. Mounts.
Let's face it, we were always ready to roll without him anyway.
CJ Derringer.
Ain't nobody perfect, right?
And Smitty Neebs.
I've never planned out hardly anything my whole life. I just freeball.
Featuring Cajun Man.
I'm just old nobody, somebody looking for somebody.
You, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of your ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
We're pleased to have special guest Chrissy Smith from Patriot, Muscle, Health, a fitness guru, a princess of the paranormal, Chrissy Smith from Patriot, Muscle, Health.
I love that title so much.
Did you just come up with that?
I've been thinking it for a while.
Whoa.
I told Tim to design me a mascot. I was like, I want it to be like an esoteric patriot because I don't know what's going to happen after I run for this office if I win or lose, but I'm already a winner. I'm just got to think about my next steps.
Yeah, well, it's good to keep a positive attitude, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You had mentioned in our last segment Ishmael Perez. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how you discovered him and what his influence is in your life and what we should know about him.
I don't know. I've always been a person that kind of resonates with just things. Well, that resonates with me. That feels good. That feels like it is true. So I watch BitChute and Rumble because mainstream media is lying to people, and so I think it's important to see what really is going on when people take their cameras out and they're showing stuff that's going in different places of the world. And one of my favorite interviewers is Nicholas Vinyamin, and he just allows people to speak freely, and you don't know if he agrees with them or not, but I just love the different topics that he has. There are esoteric in nature, but yet they deal with how can people break free from this matrix of a society that we are living in and trying to develop our own things, whether it's how we keep accountability with our money and not be in the corrupt banking system that controls this planet, to learning the toxins that are in our environment and how to get rid of them, whether it's decreases of fluoride in your body, because we all know that fluoride is bad. And since I've been watching some of these channels and developing relationships with these people, they have opened up a lot of doors for me to get exposed to alternative treatments or alternative ways of thinking that probably other people may not, go into, just because you got to have an open mind for some of this stuff, And so some of the products that I'm on have allowed me to come off of fluoride. And I think that has caused me to have a decrease in inflammation, a decrease in brain fog, an increase in energy. I'm tired right now, but I do a lot. I'm running for office. I have a full-time job, a part-time job, and I have a YouTube channel where I'm trying to promote myself. And so I think it's important that if you are wanting to become a content creator or you are wanting a goal, it's important that you need to look at people that you want to emulate and get that information from, and how did you do that? So that's why I like to keep an open mind. And, he's just my favorite interviewer. I like the way he asks questions. I like how he doesn't talk over his guest. And the questions are very thoughtful. And I have been able to, one of the guests they had on there was Ishmael Perez. So I guess I'll talk to him. But that was his first time, coming out, that people were going to know who he was. And I was just fascinated by all these things that he knew. And I'm like, well, how did he know this stuff? And then the guy has like, pretty much, he said he sacrificed his life for about 20 years and became a hermit and just studied all this stuff about the history of our, not only our world, but the cosmos, and how we came to be on this planet, and who we really are, and what has been hidden from us because of the dark forces that are on this planet. And so just listening to him talk, and he always says the same thing, but it's not said in the same manner. So it's not like it's the same interview and it's cut and paste or whatever. He's discussing the same topics, but it's very genuine, and you can just tell that, you know, he just wants people to know the truth, and that's what his purpose is. And he is just so excited to be here at this time, which I think we all should be. I think we are living through an interesting time where the corrupt systems that we have to only know, I'm not going to say love, because ain't nobody loving the government right now. And so, you know, our education system, people aren't loving our education system. This is why they've gone to homeschool, or they've gone to co-op schools, or church schools, or religious schools, where they can be more free to learn the way that they want to. You know, especially with homeschool. If you are interested in a topic, why not focus more on that topic? More like be like a Montessori school. Why are we continuing to teach our kids these things that they don't care about? You know, yes, everybody needs to know how to write. Everybody needs to know how to do math. Those are the basic fundamentals. But outside of that,
yeah, it's a whole world of knowledge.
You know, if you are interested in drawing, why don't you cultivate that? Why do we have to do all these different subjects? Now, I do believe in health and wellness, and we need to get outside, and we need to treat physical activity as fun and not physical activity as a punishment for something that I ate. And so, you know, I think that there is an opportunity for, we are human beings. We need to keep ourselves healthy. If we don't keep ourselves healthy, we're not going to be able to do what God has called us to do. And so, you know, being outside and getting vitamin D and moving your body and eating natural foods, all of these things, and decreasing the fluoride help you heal your body from the inside out, help you decalcify your pineal gland so you can reach your potential, and you can know what your true not destiny or mission rather, or why you came, you know, and you end up realizing all these experiences that you've been on have allowed you to be here at this moment, at this time. And pretty soon, like, the curtain's going to drop, and there's going to be a lot of people that are confused about, you know, everything. And, you know, you realize all the things that you've done, and all these little rabbit holes that you've gone down, and it's like you start putting all the pieces together, and after a while you can't just have all these coincidences, you know. And so numerically it's just impossible. So you guys need to probably check out gematria. It is very cool, the study of gematria. It is numerology, and how if A is 1 and Z is 26, the letters of the alphabet spell out numbers. And so if you look into, Tom Numbers is a good person to look up, because he basically will do, it's like scripted writing, all these cues that God talks to us by using numerology through the English language, and it spells out phrases, and they basically are the same numbers, you know.
May I ask, where, if you were into numerology, where should you look to discover this? Like, where should I be looking to decode numerology?
Like you can do it yourself. It just takes time. I mean, some of these people that I follow probably have a whole list, and it's like, okay, 125 equals this, 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 this. No,
But
78
would you
equals
use it to
this.
like,
So
are
what
you
I would do,
using it to
I would
decode
watch
stuff?
Tom Numbers. I'd watch Tom Numbers. He hasn't gotten kicked off of YouTube yet. You can find him on Rumble. I mean, I'm serious. Like on YouTube, has gotten to the point where you can't say certain words or you're going to get kicked off.
Right.
You know? And so they have to skirt around it and say it in a certain way, so that they can keep their channel up. And so all the people that I have followed are not on YouTube anymore. So they've either created their own platform or they're on BitChute and Rumble. And so that's where I choose to look for information. And when you start looking at it, it's just like, it makes so much more sense than this matrix of a crappy life that we're living. There is so much abundance in the world, and it's been kept from us.
Yes, and like you said, getting out and exercising, keeping healthy just certainly gives you mental clarity and allows you to think about other things and think for yourself. But I do want to go back to the numerology. Where would I apply it? Like if I'm reading a book, would I try and decode things, or where are we looking for these messages?
I would start with your name.
Oh, okay.
Should be easy for CJ. Easy man.
Start with your name and add it up. Just start with and just do your name. See what that adds up to, and then just look it up online and say gematria for the number 78, and you can see. This is why I would watch Tom Numbers, because he does it from a biblical standpoint, and I think that it's very cool. Because again, that's how God communicates with us, is through numerology. But I think it's important to also know your name, because your name is important also to know exactly for your birth chart. What was your mission when you came here? What lessons were you supposed to learn when you came to this planet? There's 12. Which ones were you? And I interviewed somebody named Ossie Steinberg from Israel, and she wrote a book called The 12 Lessons of Humanity. And she goes through each one and what they're supposed to be. And I could see myself like, oh, that must be me, and that must be me.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest, even having these conversations with people, you realize things in your own life. It's like, well, why don't I have that? Why is that person not giving that to me? And instead of thinking about it from their standpoint of why they're not doing it, it's like, what do I have to learn from this experience? Why am I not getting the support? Did I do something in a previous lifetime that I'm bringing here? And this is karmatic energy, and I have to live through this because maybe in a previous lifetime, I didn't support somebody else. And so now I'm understanding what it feels like not to get support. So each time that you have a lifetime, it circles like this up higher and higher. So this is a low density planet. I call it like a third dimensional frequency planet. And so when you start having like these higher vibrational conversations and you start learning to heal yourself and tap into your frequency of why you're here and have those deep conversations with yourself. I'm my best friend. I'm the coolest person I know. And my favorite thing is just to go outside or just chill out and have conversations with myself. I learned so much by being quiet. God gave us 2 eyes and 2 ears and 1 mouth.
I gotta tell my kids that.
Chrissy, we have a listener question for you. Longtime listener George Winters said, sorry I got in late tonight, but how did you get into numerology, Chrissy? And also he wants to know, as someone who knows really nothing about it, what should he know?
We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change.
To be continued.
You've been listening to All Things Unexplained. If you liked this podcast, please do give us a 5-star rating and leave us a review. If you would like to hear more All Things Unexplained, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Our show depends on the support of listeners like you. Find us on Venmo under the business accounts. Just look for @BigfootUFO. If you can't get enough of us, go ahead and check us out at allthings-unexplained.com. A special thanks to our producer, director, sound mixer, editor, and the man who wears far too many hats. No, seriously, he wears a lot of hats, Dr. Tim Mounts. Without you, we couldn't keep the lights on. Thanks for listening to All Things Unexplained.